Good for Memorial Day. Oh.
We need to read this later.
Alright.
And Rick, did you sign all five of them? Did Rick sign all five of them?
Pardon me?
I think you did.
I handed it to you.
Okay. I missed it. I was too busy singing, I guess.
Couldn't tell at all. She's coming up one day.
I
I gotta bio, senior bio.
Okay. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Have you had an opportunity to look over the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Betty, if you would read the minutes of the May 1st meeting, please.
May 1, 2023, Chairman Cluse called the regular meeting of the Wright County Board of Supervisors to order at 9 a.m. Members present were Cluse, Rasmussen, and Helgebold. Motion by Rasmussen, second by Helgebold, to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carries. Minutes of the previous regular meeting of April 24th, 2023 were read and approved. Approved claims for payment. In open forum, Bob Watts discussed the FEMSA pipeline which is the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration meeting being held in Des Moines. Brittany Howison, Retail Committee for CDA, which is the Clarion Development Alliance, would like to use the courthouse lawn for a family fun night on June 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. Motion by Helgebold, seconded by Rasmussen, to approve the use of the courthouse lawn on June 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. Motion carries. Motion by Helgebold, seconded by Rasmussen, to approve the fireworks permit for Dan Smith, Rural Rowan, for May 26th, 27th, and 28th. Motion carries. Motion by Helgebold, seconded by Rasmussen, to approve the mental health proclamation for May 2023. Motion carries. This proclamation encourages Wright County to increase awareness and understanding of mental health, protect their mental health, and have accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. Adam Clemens, Wright County Engineer, gave an update on the secondary roads. There were 7 work orders completed last week. Blades are out prepping the last of the engineer miles, and crews will be transitioning into year 3 rock rotation, year 3 rotation rock. The 310th Street shoulder rehab reclaim will start on May 15th. All personnel completed flagger training, MSHA training, site-specific training with Martin Marietta, and in-house CPR first aid. There is a heavy equipment operator position open and 2 truck positions in the Clarion shed. Crews are on their summer hours of 4 10-hour days, and the engineer's office will also be doing summer hours of Monday through Thursday, 6:30 to 4:30 a.m., 6:30 to 4:30 p.m. Dan Wiedmeyer, McClure Engineering, explained that the crossing in DD 107 has passed its useful life and needs to be replaced. Cluse asked what the estimated cost would be. Wiedmeyer explained that they did not calculate a cost estimate, only a letter to get the discussion going. It was explained that this crossing is being disputed as to public or private land bridge, which is why more of an official engineer's report is being requested. Motion by Helgebold, seconded by Rasmussen, to appoint McClure Engineering to prepare an engineer's report without the plans and specifications based on the letter of recommendation that was submitted. Motion carries. Motion by Helgebold, seconded by Rasmussen, to adjourn the meeting. Motion carries.
Is there any additions or corrections?
Just that one to PM,
Okay,
30 PM. So
hearing none, they'll stand, or hearing that one, it will stand approved as corrected. Item number 4 is approved claims for payment. Those have already been around. Item number 5, open forum for public input. Hearing none. And seeing nothing in the chat box. Sandy, you're in timed event at 9:15. We'll move to item number 7. Review the Wright County cost allocation plan for 2022 and have the chairman sign the certification statement. So this is an outfit that works with cost advisory service works with the Iowa Department of Public Health, and DHS, and their primary objective is developing cost allocation plans to assist county governments in obtaining reimbursement for indirect costs expended on behalf of DHS. So anyway, they analyze this stuff and they do the actual cost analysis, and that is used 2 years later for our budgeting purposes. The fiscal year 2022 cost allocation came up with $35,944. This amount includes the required carry forward adjustment to reconcile actual and projected costs for fiscal year 22. And accordingly, the total reimbursement for the year should be about $11,862. Again, this outfit tracks that and submits the paperwork to the federal government for reimbursement for the county. Let me see, what else was in there? For the public health department, the county incurred total indirect costs of $83,391 in fiscal year 2021 in support of the local health department. They have computed an indirect cost rate that the public health department may use to recover eligible indirect costs from federal title
19, maybe? 29?
It's
I think it's title 19.
X1X,
I think 19.
Title 19 programs in fiscal year 2023. Are there any?
So I think in summary, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, at 83,391 is the cost of like our office paying your bills and writing the checks and the building cost and the cost of our bill. I mean, it's just, they're indirect. There's
Right.
It's not things on a day-to-day basis that they're doing in their office, but it's the everything else that's happening that helps them.
Yeah.
So,
Motion to have the chairman sign.
second.
I have a motion and a second. To have the chairman sign the certification statement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
and you got your letter already, right? Okay,
I believe so.
and then, and the cost to do that report is $4,125.
Okay. Was that a 3-year, just like the one that we're gonna look at? It's for 3 years.
Correct,
Okay.
but this is an annual, 4,000 annual cost, but yes.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 8, review and take action on the cost advisory services contract for fiscal year 2023, 24, and 25. And again, we've explained what this outfit does. This contract is a 3-year contract with a cost of $4,450 each year. So up a $300 increase per year from the previous contract. I would need a motion to approve signing that contract.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the cost advisory services contract for fiscal year 2023, 24, and 25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
We've been with cost advisories since I think 2004 or 5.
Okay.
And when we started, I think the cost of doing it was like $3,825. So their increases have not gone up much at
No.
all.
That's every 3 years we do that.
Mhm. Yes,
Review and take action on a lease for Central Iowa Community Services space at the Wright County Resource Center.
So be continuation of the lease from last year, it's renewing, same terms.
Any different costs or?
No, all the same.
think you guys all got a copy of it, didn't you?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's, the lease for their space is $1,200
per year,
for the 2 year,
Mhm.
for the 2 offices.
Okay.
And that's per month.
per month.
And then, they get a credit of $600 a month because, Lisa Leanhart is kind of doing the reception and doing the billing and keeping track of the expenses and collecting the rents.
So they in there all the time or just
No.
here and there?
She's there.
She's there all the
She's there,
time,
yeah,
but Jen has
Jen,
changed
yeah.
positions.
Jen's out of Mesa City now.
yeah. I knew she wasn't there.
And whether, I don't know whether somebody's using that space or,
That was my question, was is Jen's office, is it available then?
There will still be another person coming in.
There will.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would need a motion to approve this lease agreement for office space. It runs from July 1st of 2023 until June 30th of 2024.
So moved.
Second,
A motion and a second to approve the lease agreement with Iowa Central Community
no,
Services,
Central Iowa.
Central Iowa Community Services Space at the Wright County Resource Center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Let's move to item number 11, receive the monthly revenue report from the Wright County Sheriff. Okay, county car service fees and mileage, $2,723.31. County new and renew weapons permits, $600, and copy fees of $70. For a total of $3,393.31. I would need a motion to receive the county sheriff's
So moved.
second,
report of fees collected. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Jason, do you know, did that get changed to, from having to be a monthly to, and through legislation? There was something that was talking about the sheriff's monthly reports going through like a quarterly or semi-annually or. I heard it once and then it kind of went,
That's I'm not aware of any change.
Okay, I have the 9:15. 9:15, moving back up to item 6. Sandy McGrath with Public Health to present a grant for $9,500 for the Wright County Fire Department pager system.
So, Wright County Fire Departments, they all obviously are paged out through the dispatch with pagers. They have a mix match of analog and digital. Currently, I don't believe the analog, I think I'm saying that right, it is analog, isn't it? Will
Yeah.
not be supported. It's working, but it won't. So I kept hearing that over and over. So as public health, our fire departments also help our EMS, and EMS kind of falls under public health blanket too, but they help them a lot with lift assistance or, back and forth they help. So I wrote this grant to the Wright County Charitable Foundation to get as many digital pagers to be dispersed through the fire departments to try and work toward all getting digital so we don't end up in a crisis mode if there's a problem. So wrote the grant on their behalf and we were allocated $9,500.
Awesome.
That should, you get about 15 pagers. They're about, well, they actually, the bid that I sent in the allocation was like $655. It went down to 633, which is even better. Each department that receives those will be in charge of doing the programming and any, like charging stations or anything like that. This is just the pages. Tom Peterson will be there at the award ceremony on my behalf, and also Pete, because we always drag him into public health. I'll be in Rochester for an appointment, so I won't be able to make it to that meeting. However, they're fully aware he'll be presenting it or discussing it at their countywide meeting this week, I believe, so. Hopefully, they can either use that as a template moving forward, do that again, maybe independently for each department. I just know that it's difficult. They're volunteers, and for them to, write grants and stuff, it's a little difficult for them, so.
Thank
So
you.
it'll be a pass through, it'll go to Wright County, Public Health, it'll pass through, we'll purchase them, they'll get them.
Any matching funds required for that or not?
The, matching funds will be the programming
Okay.
and the,
In-kind services.
yeah, and in kind,
Okay.
my time.
Do you know how many analog radios there are out there still?
One grant,
Zero radios.
oh, the radios are fine, these are pagers.
Oh, okay.
When I wrote it, Tom initially told me that they needed a potentially 40, I'm sorry, I didn't round that
I
paper.
think that's right.
Although when I talked to him about receiving a grant, that number went up, but, so. Now I think the gap would be, we're probably at about 65 to 70% digital.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
So some of the smaller ones obviously really struggle. However, the really small ones are always pretty much relying on, Clarion, Eagle Grove, Belmont to help them out, which they're more than willing and happy to do that anyway, so.
Very good. Thank you for doing that. Okay, moving to item 10.
You want me to get Andy in
Yeah,
here?
please. Andy.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Man, the old fashioned or beach.
Hard to believe it, ain't it?
Yeah.
Burn quick.
Okay, item number 10, discuss and take action on the Allard Associate Architect scope of project on the remodel of the public health building.
Thank you.
You come here, it's mostly you. It's your fault. No. Oh. You're involved a lot, not this time.
So the scope of the project, or what we've asked them to do, is an extensive interior renovation. And possibly may replace the existing parking lot with new concrete paving for the existing Wright County Public Health building.
Correct. So we've been in conversation with Allers Architect. They did the courthouse construction building a few years ago, they roughed and whatnot. And had a pretty good, enjoyed work with them, so we called them again to look into this project. And so they have put before you a project with 2 phases, and that's on the front page, you'll see. We decided to do 2 phases because we thought maybe we could do the second phase, which is mostly exterior during the summer, and then the first phase could be done during the winter. Somewhere in there, split it up a little bit. And if we do the first phase during the winter, they're sometimes less expensive, but
Less time for relocation
Yes.
too.
so that's why we divided into 2 phases, which in the end probably makes it a little bit more expensive on their end. But that is why we did it. So the first phase, you can read for yourself, is mostly interior work, getting the amount of offices that Sandy required, a conference room. Where Sandy's office currently lays for not just public health, but also sheriff's office can use it.
So it'd be like taking not having the board meetings downstairs, it'd be all upstairs for your public
Upstairs,
health.
and then, that could be an EOC, it can be closed off enough, or would be closed off enough that the. Sheriff's Department can use it for training, you guys, if you had a large. Board of Supervisor meeting that you anticipated, or a public meeting you anticipated, it'd be larger for you to be able to relocate there.
Okay.
So it'll be set up with the, meeting owls and TVs and stuff like that, so it's a good space.
So that'll be the front half of the building, they'll make your clinic rooms and your cheating and good to all what she needs for the clinics and wake and all that stuff. That would be mostly the first phase of the project, basically gutting the building down to the exterior walls and build it back. The second phase is mostly exterior, but not entirely. If you look on there, you'll see like the furnaces would be replaced during that. A possible roof leak would be fixed during that, but mostly it's parking lot, exterior doors, exterior doors and such and such.
Is existing furnaces that in the basement?
Yes, three
So-
of the four are.
So although it's interior work, it wouldn't,
Yeah, which shouldn't get in the way of
okay,
operations if we kept them there during that time.
Okay.
The second page is just the design phase, and it's mostly what you're paying for. We've already had and conducted a meeting with Allers, and they've written this letter. Initial site visit, they've come twice down, have taken measurements and photos. And are having to do that because we do not have blueprints of the building, so they have to start from scratch, basically. And that's part of this cost. They're gonna prepare a drawing of what they propose. They will prepare a problem construction cost based on those drawings. They'll have a couple meetings after that, so that we can tweak whatever we need to. And they'll also prepare a code study, which is probably needed in that building. And all that together is $14,500.
Is it also, you're kind of having some way to, bring boxes and stuff into the basement?
Oh, we'll probably just buy a stair guard.
Okay.
There could also be a few $100s worth of expenses. So I'm planning 15. So that will get us at least what we think it'll cost to remodel public health and a drawing, more or less.
And these are all ARP monies. Okay.
So that's the first step before getting to Sandy and myself.
You comfortable with Sandy?
Yeah.
I make the motion to approve, Allers and Associates for, we call it
architectural and engineering services.
I'll second that.
Is there asbestos abatement in testing?
Oh, I think it's under one of the fine prints. They'll
Just
have
so
to-
you, I mean,
They know about the lead in the walls, that we talked about, they know radiation room. X-ray room.
X-ray room in
So
there.
there's probably lead in the walls, so we had discussed that. There's no,
There's already radon mitigation there.
radon mitigation. There's no way. I know we've talked about
there,
it.
it's on the page 4 or
Asbestos
5.
lab abasement investigation or design.
Yeah.
It's a
So
hazard.
it's listed on there. They'll
There
look
you
into
go. I
that.
know we've talked about it, but it's.
Didn't you guys already do radon mitigation? over
No,
there?
we already did that.
It's done, yeah, it's done.
Okay.
Years ago.
So I have a motion and a second to approve the agreement for architectural / engineering schematic design services through Allers and Associates out of Fort Dodge. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, thanks. Man.
Thank you.
We got that one.
Yeah. Just, yeah, you need that to go with what I just handed you.
Oh, for him.
No, needs to be all put together. That's all, that's the
I
contract.
get all that.
You get all of that.
Have you
yes.
got one? a copy?
I have this, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I can have you sign.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sign mine just because.
Okay. Item number 12, establish a per diem rate for the temporary redistricting commission. Because of the election. There was a referendum on the last, is it called a referendum? Yes, it is, isn't it?
It was a petition
Oh,
for,
because there was a petition to move from 3 supervisors to 5 supervisors. That passed, that prompts redistricting. And in accordance with Iowa Code 331.21. The temporary redistricting commission is eligible for a per diem. And we are to establish that rate. Jeremy, did you have anything that you wanted to add or?
No, I don't think so, Dean. Just, it was pointed out in there and the other 2 members were asking about it.
Okay.
What do we do for townships from the other meetings?
Township trustees are reimbursed. Their per diem rate is $30 a meeting.
Stay consistent with that.
Jeremy, do you think that if we were consistent with what we do for township trustees, that would work?
Yeah, I believe so, Dean. None of our meetings have went over that hour and a half range, and we've been at two official meetings so far. So I don't see it being a problem. One member had to drive from Eagle Grove, and the other one is in town here, so.
Okay, and I think in accordance with the code section, that refers you to, it's eligible for mileage too, besides the per diem rate, and it references the federal rate, which is 60.25, so.
Yeah, and I believe it referenced in the 331.21210A referenced section 70.9, which I agree covers both of them.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to do $30
And mileage.
mileage plus mileage.
yeah, I have a motion and a second to establish a per diem rate of $30 for the temporary redistricting commission plus mileage. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Item number 13, review and act on resolution 2023-22 to close out an inactive fund.
And what's this inactive fund from?
it's our transit. So years and years ago, we had a transit. We tried closing it out once and then more revenues came back in again. And so there was a balance of around close to $11,000 in there. I paid the transit through Midas. The Midas transit was 10,500, whatever.
Yep.
I paid that out of this fund, and there's $713.18 left in there. So
So we will close this out, and that amount that we paid to Midas per our agreement will come out of the supervisors
general basic.
or general
From that,
basic, right?
yep.
Okay,
So
perfect. Then that will take this fund off of the,
off of the books.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2023-22.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2023-22, a resolution for interfund operating transfers, which is the transit fund, which currently has an amount of $713.18. By roll call vote, Carl.
Aye.
Rick.
Aye.
Dean, aye. Motion carried.
Hey Betty, what was that phone number?
19,000.
Thank you.
Item number 14, review and possibly act on the Wright County budget amendments and set the public hearing date. So in the amendments, in revenues, we have a total increase of $702,952 in revenues. On the expense side, We have a reduction in expenses of $951,600, which totals up to a savings of $1,654,552. The notable ones on here is an increase in revenues from interest. And then, the remainder of it looks like, ARPA dollars. Is there anything that you would add to that, Betty?
Well, the pictures, I didn't have, bring mine down. Yeah, the treasurer's office had a lot of revenues that came in on interest. The recorder also had additional revenues that came in, on transfers and recordings. Then the other one that was notable is my office. I did reduce some other line items, but then it increased for the new election equipment. I did not do a by fund breakdown of all of these. And I hopefully will have that prepared for you for next week, so you can see by fund where it goes.
Sure.
So, and then you can see, you know, is the general basic fund going up or going down? Or is the, you know, is most of this ARPA money? A lot of this is the ARPA money, which is the COVID.
Right.
So,
Good. So we need to set a date, for the public hearing on this. The, publishing requirements are 10 days and 20 days. So if we set it for June 5th, it's gotta be done before the new fiscal year. We do it June 5th, that'll meet those requirements.
yes.
Okay.
And if you look at the breakdown of your expenses, let's see. Your claims would be, it would be the one department budget status by service area. What Joan gives you each week on the back page.
Yep.
It shows percentages of where all the departments are.
Okay.
And, it's looking really pretty good.
Yeah.
It is looking good, so.
Yeah, there's no little,
So we should be good to go into June with this.
okay, I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for June 5th.
Second,
I have a motion and a second to set the public hearing date for June 5th for the Wright County Public Budget Amendments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Would you like that at like 10 o'clock or at 9:30, or what time would you like to have that for?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
Got it.
Item number 15, Adam Clemens, Wright County Engineer.
First item is the update. Blades are out prepping and leveling, rock miles. Some of the blade operators last week were out reclaiming, the shoulders on, paved surfaces. You might have seen that. Trying to identify any spots that we need to add additional, shoulder rock to. So we've come up with kind of a list of where we'll send to do more like spot shoulder rocking. I left the 310th Street shoulder rehab, because we'll start that next week. I want to make sure that, we hit on that enough. So they're out currently this week with one of the excavators, digging around culverts and digging around tile intakes, just to identify them, make sure that we don't, get that close to those. Trucks are hauling the rock miles. Work, orders completed 18, so we're getting into our dig time, so they're starting to complete more work orders. Granular update, the year 3 scheduled rock, we're at 21%, 21 out of 96 segments have been hauled. And you can see the work orders on the second page of what was completed. Next item, I have 2, we've interviewed 4 or 5 potential candidates for either the heavy equipment operator job or the truck driver. We've identified 2 people and made offers contingent on board approval, pre-employment drug screen and physical and background check for for 2 truck drivers out of the clearing maintenance facility, and those names are before you on the 2 letters. One of the persons is located out of Dallas and the other one is located out of Clarion here.
But they'll both be out of the Clarion shed.
Out of the Clarion truck shed, and both operate dump trucks during summer and have a snowplow route during the winter.
Do you need a motion?
I do.
I make a
For you guys
motion to approve them as given to us.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the new hires, the 2 truck drivers out of the Clarion Maintenance Facility, pending the, pre-employment physical and drug screening and background checks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
So the next 2 items are detour agreements with the Iowa DOT. They will be closing down portions of their roadway and then detouring on our routes. The first one, as you can see, if you look in the upper kind of right-hand corner, it's US 69 that we've got.
Yeah.
This is going to be for the bridge, that their bridge replacement down by the feed mill. So there's a bridge just north of the feed mill on Highway 69 that they'll use the Galt blacktop, go around 69 to CPT4 and over back to 69. So you can see that on the second page here, the location of that.
How long will that take?
They're slating from April 1 of 2024 to August 9 of 2024.
Wow.
So construction season of next year.
And did we already replace the bridge on,
We're doing that
59?
this year.
so
It'll be coming in soon.
how does that coincide with this?
We're doing our work this year for that bridge.
They're doing this.
They're doing this next year,
Gotcha.
2024.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So
Do you need to,
if you would just make a motion and authorize the county engineer to sign, I can do that.
So moved.
Second.
a motion and a second to authorize the county engineer to sign the agreement for the DO2 initiated detour of primary highway 69 onto local road R59 or the Galt blacktop, I would consider that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next one is a railroad detour agreement for the railroad, just east of Goldfield. They will be detouring on R33 up to C26, then down R33 back into, or R27 back into Goldfield. So if you look
So
at,
they go up past the elevator and,
yep, so this is where they're going to be shutting down the road,
yeah,
right there. They're gonna go up here, over, down, back in, on the north end of Goldfield. So that's only for 6 days. So that's this fall, October 2nd, roundabout detour, yeah,
I suggest you get your gravel road ready, cause they'll.
Well, I think he's laughing because it's harvest,
Right,
it's
yeah,
right in the middle of harvest, so.
and you're gonna have a lot of
and the
traffic on,
elevator. I
And the
mean,
elevator,
that's
yeah.
right where the scale is.
and you're gonna have a lot of traffic on the gravel road.
So I don't think that, I mean, we can make a suggestion that they try not to use this date, but I don't think it's up to them, I think it's up to the railroad.
Railroad.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, I won't say it.
Yeah, so it's only, as they stated, October 2nd of 2023 to October 8th of 2023. So 6 days.
That ain't bad.
Make a motion to approve the engineer to sign the Iowa DOT agreement for the detour.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize the engineer to sign the agreement with the DOT for the detour primary highway, which is Iowa Highway 3 in Goldfield, utilizing
R27, C26, and R33.
R33, C26, and R26. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Carl?
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
All right, thank you. I will, with me forward in both of those, I will ask if there's any movement flexibility in that time frame for the railroad reconstruction.
Yeah, if we could move that, a month or a month earlier, soybean harvest typically starts around the 20th or so, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you say 27?
Sorry, it's 26. I kept saying it's 26.
Okay.
I kept saying 27 because I had that in my head.
No,
So,
that's all right. I was
yeah,
just,
it's
I was
26.
reading this, I was like,
You're
no,
correct.
wait.
Yeah, 26. So, thank you.
No, thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, I've got a check on here. Okay, yeah, that was from Jeremy from earlier, okay. All right, any old business or meetings?
I had nothing.
I have a DCAT meeting today. We did get some, a secondary funding letter, so I'm not sure how much or where it's earmarked to, but I'll find out at 1 o'clock today.
Okay.
I had our Iowa State Association of Supervisors District Retreat. Last Thursday and Friday, we were able to tour, CJ Bio over in Fort Dodge, which was interesting to see what they're doing there, and also the, Nestle's Purina, where they make the cat food. And they 3.6 million cans per day of 5.5 ounce cat food. It was-
Seriously?
Yeah,
Do they only do cat food
only
there?
cat food, yeah, just that one brand. And they
How
run
many
20
horses do they go through?
Well, they do fish, beef and chicken.
Fish.
So there's all three different flavors.
Horses.
Bad. But their starting wages, I found it was $26.50 per hour
Wow. At
Pretty
CJ Bio or
at
at?
Nestle's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very favorable.
Okay.
Yep. We also have an opiate meeting in Des Moines, the 24th and 25th, put in by ISAC. I'm gonna let Sandy know about this for opiate dollars, and it's covered through the opiate fund, so I'll let her know on that. And I think that was it. We have a hospital foundation board meeting, not foundation, our ambulance meeting tonight.
Good.
And we're gonna go over the two resolutions to find out which one is best. I'll get with you later on today, Betty, on that one, so.
And
And they'll
this,
bring that back to us to do the resolution so we can get it on the ballot.
okay, and this is because our sunsets, right?
Correct.
This would be for the EMS
Essential service.
central service.
And that'll be on this fall, right?
It'll be.
September
special-
12th.
Yeah,
Say one more time.
Special meeting or special election, September
Yeah.
12th.
September 12th, okay.
that's all I have.
The only thing noteworthy I would bring to the board's attention is there was a lawsuit filed concerning the pipelines and the right to go onto a person's property to survey for a pipeline. And it was the judge, this was in Woodward County, Woodbury County. And it was found that the judge found that it was unconstitutional. And so the landowner won in this case. I'm assuming that it will be taken to a higher court. But that was the only big news concerning the pipeline.
Oh, on that same note, the soil compaction survey, there was a total of 47 counties that participated.
Excellent.
It was about a total of 28,000. So I think they're a little over 20,000 still short. And that will be split by the supervisors, ISAC supervisors, and I think another part of ISAC, but that was equal to the amount of money that Carbon Solutions donated. So it's going to be pretty much a wash.
Good, good.
Dean, that was in Clay County.
It was in Clay County. Thank you. Anything else?
The,
Development meets in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
that House file or the law
Oh.
passed on 7/18, which is the property tax
Right,
reduction that, and the governor signed.
right. So that was, the Iowa legislature is done now. And they passed, well, what did it end up being? House file
7/18.
718, and it was signed by the governor, which limits property tax increases to 100 and, in some cases, 103%, and in some cases, 102%.
Yeah, let me, there's a whole list of things in there.
Okay.
ISAC will do workshops on that too.
Pardon me?
They're gonna do a workshop.
They are? Okay.
Once they figure out all the way.
I had a conversation with Mark Thompson on Tuesday, I believe it was. It was the day that they were gonna discuss that. And gave him my viewpoints. I had talked with Betty, and she had told me that they had run the calculations. And if that would have been in effect this year, that we would have had a reduction of, I think she told me $72,000.
Yep.
From our general fund, so a general basic,
A little bit more manageable than the original plan.
yes, yeah. It did have some extended exemptions for military and,
Seniors over 65.
yeah,
State's not gonna back fund the military exemptions.
they're not.
Is there funding the difference between the, over 70?
I read the other.
Okay, it was House File 718, inaccurate local government property taxes, financial authority operations and budgets, modifying certain transit fundings, property tax credits, and exemptions and appropriations, requiring certain information related to property taxation to be provided to property owners and taxpayers, modifying provisions relating to fees for driver's license and non-operators identification cards, modifying provisions relating to certain writing fees, modifying certain bonding procedures, making penalties applicable, including effective date, applicability, and retroactive applicability provisions. So Peggy, in part of that was the driver's license fees. So somebody out of,
If they do not live in Wright County or they do not own property in Wright County, then they should charge them the $10 additional fee on their driver's.
and then would we retain that fee or a portion of it goes to the state?
That's all ours.
Okay,
It's to offset the drain on the property taxes.
Yeah.
That cost, because driver's licenses never even broke even, loan made money.
Yeah.
So of course it's subsidized by our property taxes, and this is to help with that.
Did you have quite a bit of that there? Or-
Yeah, especially when the state stations get filled up and their appointments are out a month or so. Or a local or a neighboring county might have some staffing issues. And we'll get their people up here.
Will that be an,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
will that be an automatic charge?
Yeah, or do we have to take some action in order to be able to do that?
I think it's just at the treasurer's option.
Will it be something you'll post if you're out of county?
I
So-
think pretty much, I don't know the treasurer who's not going to take advantage of it.
Right,
Just so people know about it when they come there.
But I mean, it will lengthen how long it's gonna take you to get it. You're gonna claim that you are not, that you are a resident of Wright County, and you don't wanna pay that $10, they're going to have to look.
Search, yeah.
Tax property systems to see if you own that property or not.
What if they live in Wright County and rent? Is that,
They have to own property, but if they live in Wright County, then they're automatically ours.
okay, so they can just proof of where you live.
Which we already require for your.
Yeah, yeah.
For your driver's license, so.
Okay, thanks.
Just be the property tax.
Thank you.
so without having read this completely, it looks to me like it limits that growth in taxes to 106 to 103%.
That would be the valuation growth. If
Okay.
your valuations go 103 to 106%, then it ratchets you down to only 2% growth on your general basic fund dollars. So you take your current valuations times 2%,
Okay,
divide it by, and then take that number and the dollars you got, divide them together, the quotient then is your, the $4.12. So had we done it this year, let's say I applied, we had a 5% growth in valuations. If I'd have applied it, then it would have been, our levy rate would have been $4.12. And which is 8 cents, and we would have had to cut back $79,000. So it would have affected us by 79,000. So now, next year, it'll be. We use what our base year now is the one that we're currently in.
Okay. And I think that this only goes till
It goes 4 years,
4 years, okay.
2028.
And what will it cost us next year?
I don't know, until I get the valuations done in December, I won't know where our limitations will be at.
Yeah.
So they have to apply the rollback and the whole shebang, so.
All right,
I did request to be on the committee to work with the Department of Management on figuring out the calculations of that, what that all says.
Good.
What it all wants us to do.
Good.
And then to work with counties statewide to try to implement it. We'll
we
see,
need to make sure that we get Mark smart on that,
yeah,
so that he understands the effects it'll have on the county.
yeah, so far I've only found like one typo where they've missed a word, where it was you have to divide it by 102%. They left a percent off, so you divide it by 102. Well, yeah, it's.
Anything else?
I've nothing.
Motion to adjourn.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
On this year, did they